Utah bill seeks to add rodeo competitions as a valid excuse for missing high school classes. Based off the headline, what do you think?
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
So from dating Skylar,
Right.
who's from Georgia,
Yeah.
school is taken a lot more seriously out there.
Really?
I'm not gonna be. I try to say this in a non-racist way.
That's a great way to start a sentence.
But I believe it's because they want kids in school instead of on the streets.
Right.
And so they're a lot more strict. Because I don't know about you, but school is never like they can miss like 5 days and then they have to it's like court.
Really?
It's probably not quite that extreme.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's not just Georgia. I'm sure that's other states as well. But
right.
But for us, school and that for me was never. I could miss as many days. Like I'm just stuttering up a storm. Like people go to Disneyland for a week.
Yeah, I'm doing that next week. I'm out of class.
Out of the blue. Well, I just mean, is this for college? Or is this for high school?
Oh,
high school. High school. Yeah, I'm talking about high school. They'll just miss school for a week.
That's true.
Just to go on vacation in the middle of like random, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was normal for me growing up is just students doing that all the time.
Mm.
But
there it's less standard.
For Utah, I mean, for there it's more strict. So I don't know if this is more like strict, I guess.
Yeah,
for other people's views outside of Utah.
Right.
But for me, I'm like, go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because this is also a job, essentially. You get paid to do this.
To do rodeos?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's actually why I completely agree. Because obviously I read the headline. I was like, what? You know what I mean? But what I like about it is it says that a new bill was proposed Tuesday, blah, 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 on the Hill. A new bill was proposed Tuesday, aims to add competition in rodeo to the official list of valid excuses for missing high school classes. So other things that are available are football, are gymnastics, are track, right? And it seeks to add rodeo as one of those official sports to miss class.
But is the difference for that is rodeo isn't like a school sport, if that makes sense?
But it can be officially can it be officially sanctioned by schools? I actually don't know.
Like you don't have a school team, I guess.
That's true.
You're not representing your school.
That's true.
That's the difference. But you, like I said, you get paid to do it, so it's just like a job. That could be a career. Yeah.
So if you go, there's a quote: if you go out of the town for a drill competition, if you go out of town for a baseball tournament, football game, these are automatically excused because they're managed through the Utah High School Athletic Association. What we're simply saying is that if you're participating in high school rodeo so it is. It is officially sanctioned by them, yeah.
Okay,
and you missed school, that qualifies as an excuse.
I don't know
absence.
why this would even be a headline then.
Yeah, that's weird to me, right? Like, why does this not... That makes me think, are there other sports that aren't officially sanctioned either?
I would have not... Pool? Like
billiards? Do high schools have that?
I have no idea. I'm sure some do.
Yeah. So would you ever draw the line in something and be like, nah, don't miss school for that?
I feel like there is... it turns to be an excuse. Like you have billiards tournament. I would say that's drawing the line.
Really? Billiards is your line?
I don't know. I'm sure there would be even more a closer line, but I feel like that's just an excuse. But then also they have like mathletes and that kind of thing, or like speech and debate. You miss school for that, and because in my head I'm thinking clubs. It might be a stretch, but I guess those are all clubs as well. Yeah,
there's like club teams. That's true. Chess competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where I'd draw the line.
Because what I immediately go to is esports. Right? Like, what if you miss school for an esport tournament?
I would... That contradicts everything I just said, because you could make that a career, I guess, as well.
Exactly. Like, everything could go on, and everything is... Like, if it's sanctioned by the high school, which I don't think esports is, but, like, let's say it was managed by the high school...
UVU has an esports team.
Actually, okay, so I lied. Yeah, they do. Utah High School Athletic Association. Rodeo is not part of that. Rodeo is a part of Utah High School Rodeo Association.
Oh, okay. I don't care.
So it's saying it's sanctioned, you know. So if Utah has something like that for esports, I think it would probably be fine.
It would be. I would draw the line with esports because one other thing is how hard you work in rodeo is like you work hard.
That's true.
I'd say it's pretty hard to do. Like not anyone could do it. Esports, I mean, you have to be good, but like you could be naturally.
Yeah.
No, I can't say that. You could be naturally good at rodeo, but
yeah.
I just feel like you could just. It's too easy of an excuse.
Yeah, I feel like it's not different, and here's why. I think that esports should be excused, like everything else, if it's sanctioned by one of these things.
Yes.
Because, I mean, obviously, yeah, if it's just like, I have an esports thing with, no. But if you do have esports that's by the school or by the district or by the whatever, I think it's fine because, and you hear this a lot in football and also in other sports, but part of the whole point of those are like the camaraderie, the learning to work together, the building a team.
That's true.
It's more about the community than even the game sometimes, and it helps build people up to be great lawyers because a lot of them don't go on to play NFL.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't go on to play college, but they can still learn to work hard and whatever, or even just work together and manage a team. Like if you're the team leader on an esports team, there's a skill you're learning. It's more than just like learning speech and debate or PE, but it's like learning those soft skills and getting people out of playing video games, especially. Like, I think esports would actually be one of the ones that's better to sanction because it's getting people out of playing video games in their house alone, playing Last of Us a million times over.
I guess it would depend on...
And it gets them playing together.
How often it would be.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, once a week for... I guess esports you could do in your own school, though, so I don't know.
That's true. I don't think, but a lot of the like networking you'd want to do locally, like they do usually bring them together.
I just don't know, like.
I mean, it depends on how
much
often
school would you miss?
Yeah, I don't think that much.
But you do miss a lot of school with football and sports.
Football's like the flagship, though.
Yeah,
that's like calling a like.
But drill team, your sister has to go. I don't know how far, but
she never misses school though. She maybe misses school for like once a week.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Just like one day.
Yeah, like no, not even like once a week. Like 1 week of the school year.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay.
Here, I'll ask her.
I guess that's all over weekend stuff.
Because a lot of it is after school. A lot of it's during. But she had the tournaments, which were held at EVU. Freaking pain in the butt. I wanted to wreck all of the cars that were in my spot, but when she had that tournament, that was over school. But that was only like one day. Whereas
so it was like a Friday or something.
Yeah,
I guess it doesn't matter because it's at UVU.
Yeah, and this is the thing in football. There's football classes. Like you'll be in a class for it, but that doesn't take up school time. It just is a class.
So is drill like is UVU the furthest you'd go?
It depends on how far along you got, but yeah.
Because if she goes to nationals, she's not going to be in Utah.
Right.
Necessarily, unless nationals are in Utah that year. But
that's true.
I just don't know.
But it depends on how far along you get.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with them being excused for rodeo.
Yeah, sounds perfectly fine to me.
It's a real enough sport, I guess.
Yeah. I guess you're real enough.
Yeah.
If we're allowing drill and I'm kidding.
Drill or cheer,
Some other kind of interesting things. Oh, she says, I missed 3 days for the trip, 1 for region, 1 for state finals. I was supposed to miss 1 for the solo comp.
So yeah, about a week total.
Yeah.
3 days of 1 week was the longest. So.
Yeah, so I think that's fine if you're matching that with
after school. Yeah.
Any other thing, it's fine because we didn't go to state. Yeah.
Even if she went to state, though, I feel like it'd be a Saturday thing.
Yeah, or even if it wasn't, what's one more day?
Yeah.
You're not missing 1 a week because 1 a week becomes 4.
Because that I feel like is football where they have to go travel. Even if the game's on Saturday, they still have to travel the day before.
Yeah, and that's more of a thing. Even in college, even high school, isn't that
extreme?
Because you're playing people in your region.
Yeah, you're right.
For most of it, so it's like you usually just go that day. You might miss a day.
They miss. Actually, I think they only miss. At least in my school, they would miss like half a day.
Your school had a football team?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No way. Mine was too small.
Yeah, we weren't good.
Oh yeah.
But we did have a football team.
Bunch of theater kids pretending to play football.
I know. Actually, we were really good in soccer.
Yeah.
I think we won nationals like almost every year.
That's crazy.
But yeah, even like football kids would leave halfway through Friday.
Yeah. Our baseball was the flagship, but our basketball team, this is not a joke. We lost to the Utah School of the Deaf and Blind.
Oh, in baseball?
In basketball.
Oh, basketball? So what the heck? How'd that even happen?
One of my regrets, I don't have many regrets. One of my regrets is not trying out for the basketball team, because in hindsight, it would have been really funny if I was on it, and I probably could have done it.
You would have been the best one there.
Exactly, and I'm not even that good. I suck,
Yeah.
but I can emulate, what I see the buds do, and it's like, I don't know if I don't want to say I would have gotten on and been best. No, but like, it would have been fun.
I'm just confused.
I don't think I would have gotten cut.
I mean, there's obviously no blind people playing.
No, just the deaf ones. At least you'd hope. But yeah, we lost the Utah School of the Deaf and Blind, and it was embarrassing.
Yeah, that actually, I saw a TikTok video about, it was a girl, like, what's your biggest loss in high school for your sport?
Yeah.
And it was a school, I don't know what school it was, but it was a high school, lost to it was a college, just as college, lost to a nun school. and it shows all the girls on the regular college.
Yeah.
All in like normal basketball attire. The nuns were in their nun clothes, their dresses, with their hat, their like
That's
hoods
crazy.
and everything. Yeah, and they lost to him. And I was like, that is crazy.
That is sad. Man, it sucks to suck.
Hey, but when you got God on your side, you don't lose.
You don't lose. Another interesting thing, the state dictates what constitutes as an excused absence, but the school districts are the ones who decide how many absences a student can have in a school year. Canyon School District, for example, allows up to 10 excused absences. According to the district's communications director, Jeff Haney, school tracks these through education leave forms. So that's kind of interesting.
10, huh?
Do you remember how many you were allowed?
I had no idea.
No idea either.
I would have no idea.
Yeah.
It's probably similar to that, but it's also, I don't think it was ever enforced as much.
No, right? You're not going to get kicked out.
No, they wouldn't. It wouldn't be. You wouldn't get kicked out. I think you'd go to you'd have to have a court thing, or
Right.
Maybe not court like with the state, but like a meeting with school district or
Be
something.
like,
yeah, like you can't do that.
Yeah.
But then I also think it could turn into like a parents like CBS. What's it called? I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
CPS.
Right.
Where they might look into you a little
Especially
bit.
if you're young. I mean, high school maybe, but yeah, that makes sense.
But you get 10 excused, and that includes sports or not? It's not.
Yeah, that includes sports.
Because that's not that many. I don't feel like.
Yeah.
If you're on a sports team, like if you're not doing anything, then sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you're on sports, I mean, that 10 isn't. You can't even go on vacation with your family. I wouldn't think.
That's true. But again, who tracks it? Who
depends
keeps,
on what sport. Yeah.
Who worries about it? And then there's also like unexcused absences, because it's like, how many you get those?
Unexcused, I don't think, even at my school, I don't think we could have very many. At
No,
least
you
with
can't
my
have a ton.
mom, without my mom finding out.
But that adds, right? So it's like if your parents are aware of something and you miss 15 days, 10 of them are excused, 20 days, you've missed like a month of school. Almost. Like we're getting into month territory, and you don't.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
That is a lot. 10 is probably isn't.
And that's 10 excused.
10
again,
is probably a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. The only time I got detention in high school was because I was late to this one class all the time.
I got detention for something. I can't remember what, but I had to sit at a clock and stare at it was my detention.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I remember detention was a freaking waste of time, because I had to be making morning announcements. I had stuff to do, and they're like, no, you have to sit in this room. And
mine
do
was
nothing.
after school.
Yeah, mine was
And
after
so
school
I'm like,
too.
why? For one, what if I don't remember how old I was? Or maybe it was, actually I think it was during class. I think I was being disruptive during class.
Yeah.
And so the rest of the class I had to stare at a clock. So maybe that wasn't as bad. But that was the only time I really got in trouble.
No, I had to stay after school, and it sucked. It was so boring. And then I talked to one of the teachers about Avatar: The Last Airbender, and he's like, you should watch it. And I did eventually, and he was right.
I mean, why wouldn't they just make it standard for everywhere to just do homework?
Right? Yeah, like, that's why I was like, can I at least do homework? They're like, no.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, I was like, come on, dude.
That's dumb.
Come on. So yeah, it sucked. It was a boring waste of time. But also, whatever. I deserved it. I was never on time to that class. In fact, I failed that class. That was the only class I failed.
What class was it?
9th grade geography.
Just because you were late?
No, well, I took it
Or
as a
geography
senior.
sucks?
Well, so my transcript got messed up. So I was supposed to take it in 9th grade or in 10th grade. And I was supposed to take it in 9th grade, and I took a different class that was supposed to substitute. But by the time I got to be a senior, they're like, oh, it didn't count.
Wow,
So
whatever.
yeah, right? So I had to take it again, basically. But it was like a different class. But I had to take it. Took it from this dude who's great. We're homies. But I was a piece of crap. And I was late, but not that late. You know, it's not like nowadays where I'm like 20 minutes late. It was like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
You just got to go to the school. You know, you're already there. I was just dumb.
yeah.
But the reason I failed was because at the end we had this project, and he's like, you can't turn this in late. You cannot turn this in late. If you turn this in late, I will fail you. You can't turn it in late.
You turned it in late.
I turned it in late. Yeah, I totally turned it in late. And in my defense, it was a senior trip, and I was the only one going on the senior trip because I was the only senior in that class. So I kind of got hosed. On the other hand, I totally could have done it earlier or during the trip. It was
Why
back
would you want to do that, though?
Well, it was back in the olden days. We weren't using Canvas or anything.
Oh,
right?
you
So
had to
we
do
could
it by
turn it in
paper.
online. I would have to. I mean, it was a video, but I would have had to bring it in like with a thumb drive. You know what I mean? Back in caveman times when I went to
Yeah.
school. So it's like, I kind of got hosed on the timing, but also I totally turned it in late. I turned it in like 2 days late. It was a garbage video. I deserved to fail. And then he's like, I have to fail you because I told you so, you know? And I was like, no, come on. I just tried to.
So what happened?
He failed me.
Yeah, but what did you have to do after if that was a required class?
Well, so that was the second to last semester. That was first semester
so you
of
just
senior.
retook the
So
class.
I did the packet.
That sucks.
I know. And it didn't even take me that long. I'm like, why are we taking all these classes when we can just like read this packet and do a little report about Newfoundland and get it done? And I just did it. And then on my transcript, it doesn't even really bring my grades down because it's like a P.
Yeah.
It's like a participation. You did it, got the credit.
I think it was PE. There's nothing worse than being a senior in a 9th grade class.
Yeah, it sucks.
And it was PE.
That's awful.
And I was like, this is dumb.
You're just giants. You're like my chickens, such giants
Yeah,
next
I'm
to
like,
babies.
What am I doing here? Like,
Yeah.
especially PE.
Yeah, PE is
Get out of
crazy.
here with that trash.
Yeah. I didn't have to take PE in high school.
You're lucky.
But
Actually,
yeah.
PE was pretty trash in high school, except for one class
Uh-huh.
where it was literally just games.
That's fine.
I don't remember what the class. Lifetime Activities is, I think, is what it was
Wow.
called.
Recess.
And it was. We went bowling.
That's sick.
Like we went to a bowling alley.
See, I wish there were more PE classes that were like marketable skills, maybe. Not like skills, but like, here's pool. I mean, obviously not every school can have a billiards table, but like, yeah, play some pool or ping pong or I can't think of other games. But you know, like medium physical
I'm
games.
not gonna
like,
run the pacer.
Yeah.
Every single PE class I'm
Exactly.
in. That sucks.
Freaking Beat Saber.
Yeah, just throw in Beat
That's cool.
Saber.
Like, I think there are things that you could do that are medium sports that could maybe be in place of PE by the time you're a senior in high school.
I feel like, don't make me run a mile
They're in college
every day.
You know, that's
Like
what
every PE
college
class.
PE classes have that. I don't know.
I think teamwork sports are good for PE.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, how's the pacer help me?
I mean, it's just healthy, you know.
Yeah,
Running.
but after that, what? After I graduate, then what?
I'm stopping.
I'm not gonna run the pacer ever
That's
again.
true. It's to build
Like-
habits. Maybe you find out you love running.
Well, I would be track and field, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
and nobody likes running unless they're doing track and field. So
Yeah. I liked strength conditioning when I was in PE because that was something I could do. But
yeah,
I hated.
well, that's something. I guess that's something that you could do for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so is running.
No, running is fine, but the pacer is trash.
That's true. Here's
Why
the
does
thing.
it matter how fast I can run?
That's true. What I think high school PE should be is stuff that you feasibly can't do after high school. So, like, remember, have you ever played hockey with, like, a hockey stick and you're just walking around?
Yeah.
Like that. Or, like, remember the scooters? You
Oh
like,
my
kick
gosh,
something?
those scooters were fun.
Do that. Remember the parachute? Do the parachute. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
dude. Even in high school, the parachutes.
Yeah, it's great. And when are we ever going to do that again, right? We have to
Never.
get the boys and find a parachute.
Not only get the boys, you have to find 30 people.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
have 30 boys.
Exactly. So PE should almost exclusively be even maybe like full-on basketball or like big football or lacrosse. You know, like weird sports that like not a ton of people
Lacrosse would have
play.
been sick.
I played a little bit of lacrosse when I was.
I never did that, and I think it'd be super fun. And we didn't have a lacrosse team or anything either.
That's
so.
why I know lacrosse. You know, like I don't know it very well, but we had like a unit on it, and we did it, and it was super great. And it's like, you know, dodgeball. When am I going to do dodgeball with more than like 10 people?
Dodgeball.
That's what I think.
More than 10.
Yeah, it should be
not
like
even 10.
Full, you know, it should be full games.
Because dodgeball, is a game you need a lot.
Yeah, sharks and minnows.
Oh my gosh, dude! All the memories are coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
31 minutes on sports, and Wade's not even here.
I know. Well, we're gonna save that for another episode. Weird PE games.
Okay.
That we played as a youth. I'm gonna put it on the note right now.
I'm gonna have to think of them because there was one in elementary school that like it was a BYU student teacher came and taught us, and I don't remember what it is, but that one was like the game we played forever after that.
He's sick.